Blog Talk Radio.
What is up? Field Street Forum Live coming at you just after G-Day. Big weekend for Georgia, big weekend for the Dogs, big weekend for Athens, period. It was a fun weekend, interesting game. Nothing too crazy happened. Saw some things we liked, there really wasn't a whole lot we didn't like, I don't think. There's a couple things we can talk about, but we'll talk about G-Day, the results from the game, what we saw. Of course, we'll talk about recruiting, the results of the big weekend for G-Day, of course, with getting at least one commit out of it. We had the early commit before heading into the weekend. Maybe some more stuff coming here soon. So we'll talk about all that. And anything you want to talk about as well, give us a call, 347-850-8025. That's 347-850-8025, and we will get you on the air with us. I'm your host, The Real Dre, joined by Mr. Dustin D. Woody 15. And soon to be joined by Jason Harry Dog. He's got some to-do list stuff, I guess, or I don't know. Who knows? He'll be here though eventually. Maybe if we chant his name 3 times, he'll magically appear. So, but me and my boy Dustin will talk about G-Day. Dustin, I'm just going to go ahead and say I thoroughly enjoyed G-Day because I said the mailman was going to deliver on Saturday. Now I'd be damned if he didn't go out and just tear it up, son.
It looked really good.
I totally, like I said, it did nothing to dissuade me from what I had said before about, I don't exactly, depending on the game, if he had to come in and start, God forbid anything happens to Fromm, but I would come in with total confidence that Stetson could come in and lead the team to a victory. I mean, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and in the day and age where people are going to be transferring left or right, it's going to be good to have someone like that in your program.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, let the NCAA just kind of pick and choose who they decide to give immediate eligibility to, which is completely ridiculous.
Crazy.
There's there was another one I saw, but of course the main one right now is Luke Ford's request for eligibility was denied by the NCAA, even though he actually did transfer for family reasons because of I think his grandfather is sick, and they deny it. And yet, Justin Fields, Tate, the douche that transferred to Miami, his was all theirs was for playing time. It's ridiculous, man. I don't.
And
get
what
it,
do you think Jacob Eason thinks about all this?
I mean, honestly, it's just there was no reason. I really could have seen Eason should have gotten his approved if he would, but he didn't really even push it, honestly, that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get the start regardless.
Yeah, with senior Browning last year, but anyway,
I tell you what, he probably wishes he could have been in this year's NFL class because Drew Lock's pretty much going to be a top 15 pick, and Eason.
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
sad. I mean, Haskins is going to be probably top 5, top 6, top 7, somewhere around in there.
Yep.
Kyler Murray is probably going to be the number 1 pick. I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting, though, if, say, Fromm does come out next year and Eason has a big year. Both of them coming out in the same class, that would be kind of fun to watch. But
the mock drafts don't even have Eason anywhere in the first round, but you would think that she'll get noticed really quick this year.
I think so. I think he'll skyrocket up some boards because I think he's kind of a forgotten guy, if you want to know the truth of it, because he hasn't played for 2 years, basically. But he's got all the tools, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be poised for a nice year. But G-Day, pretty, like I said, it was entertaining enough. Watched some of the running backs look solid. Swift and then Harrion, I thought, had a nice day. Thought he ran hard. Shows him that I think he knows he needs to run hard because got a couple more studs coming with Zeus coming for some playing time. I would imagine here very soon, and once fall camp gets rolling, he should be hopefully 100% clear. I thought the O-line was pretty solid. I think they tried to get Landers going, but kind of the same. I think that's kind of the same thought process with Harrion. Is there's some dudes coming for PT, so if you're gonna do it, the time is now.
Thing is everybody wants to troll Georgia on anything on Twitter, but when they show Zamir White all cut up on all his different things, nobody's really like talking junk because they know if he's healthy, that's gonna be a game changer.
Oh yeah. Put him in there with Swift. How about that? Put him in there with Cook. I mean, it presents a lot of trouble for opposing defenses, that's for sure. I thought Landers did okay. I mean, he was kind of 50-50 on things. He had some he should have caught. I thought he did a solid job on others. I mean,
I agree.
It shows he's got the ability. It's just he's got to, kind of put it all together. I mean, he's huge. He's got enough speed. He's just got to, I guess, work on the hands and the route running, I guess. Would that be what you would think would be his 2 biggest things to work on?
I mean, really consistency, but I just don't know if he's going to ever have that.
Yeah.
I personally think they benefited from Demetrius Robinson not playing, and I think Blunt got a lot of more looks because he wasn't playing.
Mhm. What else stood out to you from Saturday?
I mean, I think Eric Stokes. I mean, you got to look at it in a year or two. I think he's going to probably shoot up on draft boards being as fast as he is. He's the guy who's going to go in the combine and just kill. But it was good to see him do good. I was impressed. For freshman-wise, I was really impressed with seeing if you want to take a breath of fresh air from a guy like LeCount who can't take any angles to tackle, and then you got someone like Lewis Seen that's just an absolute ball hawk. I think he impressed me most of the freshmen.
He stuck a couple of dudes, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him. I will personally, I kind of thought it was pretty cool seeing some of these kids from down here in the 912 getting some playing time. I know Podlesny kid missed the first field goal, but I don't know. I think it was kind of I don't know what happened exactly, but I'll tell you, I think he could seriously make a run at some being the top kicker once Rodrigo leaves, even as a walk-on. Because like I said, I've watched him for a couple of years down here kicking for Glenn, and he could do every kick that Coach Hidalgo was asking him to do, be it the pop-up kickoffs, put it in the right spot, put it in the corner. He could kick it through the end zone if he needed to. He's got a strong leg and a very good knowledge of what needs to be done and how to do it, and then working with somebody hopefully I'm hoping KB can work with him some too, and but I think he's got a good chance in a year or two to like I said, take over that kicker role, top kicker role,
What
and if nothing else, kickoff specialist. What's that?
What high school did he go to?
He went to Glenn Academy.
Okay.
And then he had, of course, like you said, LeCount. I thought LeCount looked a little better. I thought he did a solid job. I just don't know. I just think he's pretty much. I don't know. I'm hoping everything can go for him. I mean, he's got great knowledge on the field. It's just a matter of being able to back it up. And I saw
I mean, there was a few times again. He led his squad for tackles, but there were still a few times where he had to make angle catch-ups on runs, stuff that you would think be easy. I mean, even a baseball player takes a good angle on a baseball, and he takes the most inopportune route to a ball that you can think of sometimes.
Yeah. And then, Warren McClendon getting some reps with the twos as well at tackle. I thought he did a pretty good job. But both offensive lines, I thought, did a really good job of, obviously they had the quick whistle, for sacks or with the quarterbacks. But I thought overall they did a really good job, kind of what you expect, really with Pittman and this much talent for him to work with. And then I'll say this too. We talk about Stetson, but Dwan Mathis, that kid's way faster than I thought he was. I had no idea he was that fast coming out into his true freshman year. I really didn't.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to end up being on. I mean, he seems like a high character kid from social media and everything. He seems like a guy who really isn't going to be concerned about playing time. If that's the case, he's going to be a really good project to have.
Really good project, and showed some pretty good throws too. I mean, strong arm as well, and looked like he didn't look like he progressed pretty well. Went through his progressions pretty well, I should say. For a true freshman, I mean, not perfect, obviously, but I thought he did a very good job to first, live deal in front of that many people. And
not to have a playbook for more than 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I came across very, more impressed than I thought I would be with the backup quarterbacks, to be completely honest. And like I said, I thought Stetson would be fine, but I think he showed, like I said, he can make plays if he needs to, and can kind of help lead the team if he's asked to do so.
Man, I tried to tell you the doggone mailman can sling the ball.
Hey, what did I say last week? I said I want to see the mailman deliver, son, and sure enough, he did.
Told y'all the mailman can sling the ball.
Nate Trez left, and now he's got the mailman.
Yeah, and we didn't even have to say Jason Harry Dog 3 times, and he still appeared. Good job, Jason.
Ta-da!
You got done pretty quick with the honeydews. Silence.
No comment.
Radio silence. I'm not going to expound upon that, dude.
He just took you off speakerphone.
All I have to say is one thing. One thing for all of you.
Woo! So, what was was Stetson the coolest thing, the best thing you saw from Saturday, or what? Anything else?
Ooh, I can only pick one.
I mean, you can talk about it or whatever much you want.
Hey, the D-Rob was sick.
I know. You think there was anything
I really
more to that? just sick, or you think they wanted to
I think so.
kind of keep him hidden a little more, or what?
Yeah, I think he was really sick. Not like hurt or missing a ton of time or anything, but
Yeah.
and I
know he's
Landers. I think Landers could really, really, really be a big part of the offense if he can take care of the dropsies.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. Got to work on the hands and work on the route running probably too a little bit.
And Tommy Bush didn't even have a catch.
Yeah, that kind of surprises me.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, there was some things that were, kind of thought some guys would maybe make a little bit bigger push in the scrimmage and didn't really see it. What about on the defensive side in the front seven? How did you guys kind of feel like the front seven held up, getting pressure, things like that? And it's hard to say, again, like I said, with the quick whistle, but
I think Dean's going to get a lot more burn than people might think.
Mm-hmm.
The
Jason might disagree.
Defensive line did way better, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
a lot of people don't mention his name a lot, but Malik Herring's going to have a pretty good year, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Again, this may be.
I went back and watched it or anything, but they said Brenton Cox was wearing Jamari Sawyer out when he was over there at right tackle.
Well, you got to think too. This defensive line is not going to face a better offensive line than they face, every day in practice. Last week at G-Day, I mean, I don't think if they do, it's going to be very surprising. But that's going to get them better in and of itself. Wouldn't you think, Dustin?
Sorry, I had a call.
No, that's all right. I was just saying there's not going to be a better offensive line that these defensive line guys are going to handle or going to face than they do every day. So that in and of itself is going to help them get better, each week. When they get to Saturday, hopefully that's going to be the easy days for them.
And that's not even wearing Georgia goggles there.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody could kind of, that knows offensive line and has seen the talent come through that offensive line. That's just being straight up. I mean, to be completely honest. So, now they're not. Like I said, they're going to get better and better just going against them in scrimmages, going against them in practice every day. It's just work on your craft. If you can beat Andrew Thomas, or you can beat Isaiah Wilson on the other side, or you can beat Jamari Sawyer, like you said, it's going to be that much easier for you come, Saturday against Vanderbilt or, hopefully Notre Dame or Auburn, or, you got to make it happen against them, hopefully. Any concern with Fromm's Day?
I mean, I think the pick six, the guy Holloman slipped, and he really didn't come back to the ball. So I'm not really concerned about that one play. But
yeah, other than that, I mean, I think he's fine, and that's hopefully should be the least of anybody's worries is Fromm's ability or putting up stats or numbers, what have you. Biggest thing is just putting the team in the right plays. Well, how about, like I said, the kind of the ramifications or the results of this big weekend, which the biggest part of it would be for the visitors and recruiting and things like that. Of course, leading into Saturday, Georgia got the commit from the defensive back out of Texas. That was on Thursday. That was right after. That was the day after our podcast, right? Or was that Wednesday? I can't remember now. Did we know about that one yet, or?
I think we did.
I think we did, actually, yeah. And then another Texas kid committed to Georgia, and that would be big offensive lineman. I was going to leave that to you.
No. That's the one reason why I didn't do a video, because I want to butcher his name. Hey, I will say this, one thing that people probably haven't said, but the guy who committed, the offensive guard, he changed his Instagram photo with the picture with him and Sam Pittman. So, I mean, it just shows you what type of relationship he's building with these kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and he had another awesome yes, sir video.
That's Jason's favorite.
Man, that joke, oh my God, it kills me.
That's his text tone whenever you text him, Dre. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I'm so about to do that. My ringtone is the UGA fight song.
Hey, y'all for
now
real
I have to change the text.
Y'all for real got to get that on a podcast for a noise.
Oh, yeah. I'm working on it now.
Yeah.
Haven't not thought about that yet.
That would be Akinola Ogunbiwi.
Hey, that dude, he hasn't been playing football very long, and he's already nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put Pittman with a guy like that he can kind of almost teach from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at like Solomon Kinley.
Right.
Wow.
This kid's out of Sugar Land, Texas. So
I wonder if he listens to Sugar Land.
What were some of the other kids saying about the weekend?
Dude, oh my gosh.
Come to mind.
These weekends like this, whether you get one commit or four commits, end up being the most important weekends of the year. I mean, you had that one picture that came out that had like 7 of those guys standing together. And I mean, it's not a reach to say we'll get 5 or 6 out of those 7, maybe even all 7, if we get somehow flip pairs Johnson from Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. That's and that I'll tell you this, and I know a lot of fan bases do it, but when those fan bases start turning on kids because they're looking at other schools, you got to think that helps push them away. Don't you think? I mean,
you know what? I hadn't seen what they said yet, but I've heard and seen people talking about Ohio State fans turning on Pierce Johnson.
Yeah, like crazy, dude. I don't know. So it's
well, I always have to bring them up one time, but the funniest one is Florida. They had a commit for quarterback. I can't remember his name, and then he decommits, and they think they're getting Carson back.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, he decommits, then they think they're getting Carson back, and now Carson back's leaving, and now all these people talking junk about Anthony Richardson. That's like their number one person they want to get for their quarterback next year. It's just hilarious.
He committed back to him too.
Well, I'm not really concerned about that.
Well, I'm not either. Well, the other funny thing is with all that, they basically threw him away, like you said. It was like, oh, we don't want him. He sucks. We want Carson back. We love Carson back. The whole 9 yards. And then Carson Beck commits to Georgia, and they're like, we want Anthony Richardson back. He's better than Carson Beck anyway. I mean, he literally just straight up did that.
I mean, it's amazing
But
how the scouting report changes from fan bases depending on who commits where.
but so over under film, Paris Johnson not going to Ohio State.
I'll say
honestly, push 50.
I was going to say 52%, not go. But I think you'll still.
I think it's a whole lot closer than they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why yet. But last year it was Alabama, and then this year is Alabama and Georgia. But it seems like they're seeing something as far as getting the first official visit now in April and May, because more of the big, the big strong powerhouse teams are doing that now. Whereas we'd always talking about for years, since basically we started, about getting that last official visit. You got to get the last official. But now it seems like they're fighting to get. I mean, I know the rules changed where you can visit earlier and all that too, but it seems like a lot of them are fighting to get the first one now. And so we got the first one on Paris Johnson, but then I want to go old school and say, what Ohio State working for them is they probably get the last one. So I don't know, without knowing why they're wanting these early officials. I don't know as far as the timing of the visits.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe just setting the precedent in players' minds now. I don't know. Instead of plus, it seems like so many kids are committing earlier now too. I mean, with the early signing day, I think that's probably changed a lot of folks or a lot of programs' mindset on visits.
I just want to know the thinking behind it.
Yeah,
right.
I called Kirby, but he hadn't called me back yet. He's been dealing with all this recruiting hoopla, people get fired and stuff. So
you must have gave your resume.
They said he'd call me back later.
Yeah.
You know what I said?
Cool.
I said you must have submitted your resume to him.
Oh yeah.
No, man.
Gonna be the new.
No, we're over that part. I mean, I already turned him down like 5 times.
Oh man!
I'll tell you this too: hire me in the recruiting office. That's the quickest way to get on probation. Man, I call every 5-star in the world and just be like, "What you want?"
Jason be like the scene out of Blue Chips. You got want a new tractor. Talking to the farm boy. Want a new tractor. The other kid wants $10,000. I think
that's chump change. Forget that, man. New tractor. I would give his daddy a new farm. Come on. Tractor coming with the new farm.
Yeah, exactly. New cows, everything. Rusty kind of tweeted something out earlier about saying he just helped finish up was he on the video or help finish up the video of a?
No, you know how those recruiters try to help them film their commitment videos.
Oh, okay. Wonder anybody.
The people that are on the 247 board. Here's what you got to think about. Usually, Rusty says something when he's going out of town. We just had G-Day, and now somebody else wants to commit.
Mm-hmm.
First question is, was this going on before G-Day, or did it start after? The second question is, would Rusty already know before G-Day and have it planned and go out of town to film it? So that'll kind of give you an idea of who it is. Because more than likely it happened after G-Day, and they called and started talking about it, and then Rusty was like, I'll help, which that's going to pull you right there around the Atlanta area. which some people are thinking of Reed Gilbert. But then there's the thing that I think Jimmy messaged us earlier, where somebody else said they were working on the Reed Gilberts on Twitter. It's like another place, like people or whatever. I don't even know who they are, to be honest, that does commitment videos. So, I mean, but they could have just been kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, unless it was planned before and Rusty had plans to go out of town and doesn't want to tell anybody so he can give it away, if it happened after, it's going to be somebody around that area, which limits you. It brings it down to a good bit. My guess is Reed Gilbert or Tate Ratledge. And then my guess is Tate Ratledge because he's in Rome up there by Rusty and has a good relationship with Rusty. But
yeah,
I mean,
it could be. I mean,
that's 100% guess.
Well, I read it as it was someone that we didn't already know, and Gilbert was mentioned before, so.
If it's somebody we didn't already know and is
I would think
out of town,
probably.
my guess would be Ringo.
I would take it, man.
Hey, that dude.
Beast.
what about the linebacker from up in the DMV area?
Mikhail Sherman?
DC. Yeah.
He's visiting official visit to Ohio State this weekend.
Mm.
So he's on his official to UGA this past weekend. So now he's doing Ohio State. I imagine he'll probably do a couple more. But I think he'll be one that waits until after his officials. I don't think he'll wait till signing day or anything like that. But I think he's one that'll wait till after visits.
Gotcha.
Another interesting idea is, and I mean, as long as you know when we're talking about this that Twitter is what it is, and you don't take, I mean, honestly, whether it be sports, recruiting, or whatever, don't take it too seriously. But another interesting idea is right after G-Day, Kendall Milton's dad was talking to Carson Beck and was like, get me in touch with your dad. So, that's not bad at all. Whether he wants to commit or not, that's not a bad sign at all when you got dads wanting to talk to commits dads and stuff like that. So, I mean, that would be one idea is, he even went through Carson Beck's dad to get a commitment video done. But, I mean, that's just me kind of making stuff up, basically hoping.
Right. Right.
But I would really
guess
that it would be somebody local right there.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty interesting seeing Milton's dad reaching out like that on social media. And it. I mean, they know people are going to see that. I'm sure he could have DM'd him and gotten the information. Pretty cool to see, hopefully, but we'll see what happens from there. Who else has been kind of maybe has there been anybody that kind of you think this past weekend kind of elevated Georgia more than what they were to begin with?
Ooh.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin. And he was one of those in the 7. I'm trying to find the picture so we can go through who that group of 7 was. He was one in there.
Yeah,
it was like Beck and Pierce Johnson and McLaughlin. Let's see. Kendall Milton. He's really one because he hadn't visited yet. So he'd be the obvious one that we kind of jumped higher on because he was just, honestly able to visit. You had Jalen Carter. He'd be one. And even 2021 guys. This dude that 2021 dude, he's number 2 offensive tackle in the nation, Maris Mims. He'd be one I'd be watching out for too. I mean, he's already named Georgia as leader, and I mean he's down in dog country, so that'd be one I'd definitely be looking out for. And he's another one like I think Andrew Thomas is going to go pretty high next year's NFL draft, like possibly top 5. And I think he'll be the next one like that to be able to come in and maybe start at right tackle for 1 year and then take over left tackle. I've seen more than one person say that Mims reminds them of Laramie Tunsil, who is obviously a really good left tackle despite all of his bull crap off the field.
The one that got away.
I tell you this, I bet we wouldn't lose that one now. He'd be wearing a UGA shirt to meet with Ole Miss coaches. I can promise you that.
You mean Liberty coaches?
Do what?
You mean Liberty coaches?
Yeah, Liberty. Oh, man, come on.
As long as he doesn't
while
put
it's on
out
my mind. No, hold on. While it's on my mind, getting off topic, what the heck did Baylor do now?
No clue. I didn't see it.
I saw somebody talking about just like their third investigation in the UGA.
2012 and 2016, and talking about this is strike 3.
Right. Now, I know they're not going to do the death penalty, but
I think they might get them enough to where they would have rather had the death penalty.
Yeah,
4 years.
Let's see. Baylor sued over handling of November 2017 incident. Former Baylor equestrian athlete has filed a lawsuit against the university alleging Title IX investigators took too long and did a poor job handling her assault report, causing mental distress and prompting her to withdraw from school. Alleges 2 football players sexually assaulted her, one of her friends while they were incapacitated by alcohol. Put it on Snapchat, apparently.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Lawsuit states the university took an unreasonably long time to investigate after it was notified on November 16, 2017. Investigators treated the woman in a shaming, embarrassing, and hostile manner. The investigators did. And that she was not protected from her alleged attackers while on campus. And this is, like I said, this is on top of already being investigated, 2 or 3 times? Well, this is the 3rd one, you said. Incident been reported to police. Attorney's office decided to present information about 2 players, freshmen John Arthur and Trayvon Lewis, to a grand jury, which declined to indict them in connection with the assault in June of 2018. Matt Rule announced in March of 2018 Arthur and Lewis had been suspended from the program. Neither was on the Bears roster that fall. Baylor noted it was a complex case, multiple allegations by each of the 3 complainants against each of the respondents. It's a mess, dude. The player who videotaped the alleged assault was found responsible and banned from campus. State investigators also found one of the woman's teammates responsible for violating school policy, and they determined she had shared the video with other students and to discourage the woman from reporting the assaults.
Dang.
Reportedly telling the woman that her name would be publicized nationwide and Baylor football would receive the death penalty. So don't report it because you'll hurt the football program because you were assaulted. Yeah, not. It might not be too good.
Jason, did they ever say anything on Trey Bishop's situation?
No, not that I know of. That ain't gonna get out.
Well, I mean, I've done the math on all these. We're at 87 with him, and obviously he's not at spring football, so I guess they're just waiting to see where he enrolls at. But I'm assuming somebody on the roster is going to transfer. I just don't know who.
After spring practice, sometimes it happens, and then kind of beginning of fall practice, you get a couple of practices in, and seeing that you don't have a chance, you might have one or two then too. I mean, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Would it? I mean, should we keep an eye on current players following other programs' coaches? Would that be something of interest?
I don't know.
I won't say it on here, but right now. But
why? Who did?
Huh?
Who did? Man, it's
2019.
Say it.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, I saw on my notifications that Schaefer followed Taggart, which
I never know.
Kind of fits that idea, but
guys
or maybe
in
as
that
a grad
position would be ones to look out for.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying anything about him specifically because I just don't know. But, I mean, you know, guys that are 3 years into the program, whether it be a junior or a redshirt sophomore, and, you know, they're still not really in the – I mean, Schaefer is probably in the 2 deep, but, you know, we're constantly bringing 5-stars in at his position.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when he's not in that top 7 or 8 rotation and you've been there, you know, 2-3 years, I mean, you have to look at guys like that. I mean, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys like him, guys like McBride. I mean, if McBride hasn't started an inside linebacker yet, he's not.
Right.
Not with the guys that we're continuously bringing in.
Well, I would say Hunter is even further down the totem pole than him.
Yeah, I mean, guys like that, and which, you know, I mean, no hard feelings. I'm not sitting here saying I want them to or anything like that.
No,
I mean, it's just common sense. It's just common sense. You have to look at guys like that have been in the program, you know, 3 years or whatever, and they're obviously not in the top rotation. Either that or spoiled freshmen that thought they owned the world and thought they would be promised a starting position and got a little feelings hurt and then transferred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to call out any names on that one.
Well,
Schaefer would certainly be.
I'm not going to call out any names on that one, but he went 4 for 13 in his spring game.
Well, just to be frank, there were some guys on that first Kirby staff or that first Kirby recruiting class that wouldn't be on any of his classes now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
So.
Yeah, and you got to look at, too, in the scenario, and like I said, it's just be completely speculating, but you got to think he would challenge for immediate playing time at Florida State.
Oh, God, dear Lord. I mean, one of us might could. I mean, good God. Dre's been working out more lately. Won't you go?
Hey, man. Yeah, I might be down to, like, you know, tight end or fullback type mode now. I might not be an offensive lineman anymore. But
he's getting his workout plan from Terrell.
Dude, our boy Terrell, I mean, if y'all, seriously, he posts some of his gym pictures on Facebook, man. Dude is just jacked. I ain't going to lie to you.
Man, please. Ain't nobody scared of that man. He's still taking me up on an arm wrestling contest. Everybody scared of him. He's a little chicken, won't even arm wrestle nobody, won't even show up. Terrell's scared.
I got something for you later tonight on the message boards.
Yeah,
Jason.
I know exactly what it is.
It's coming in hot when this gets over with.
Just make sure you wear it in your hat, Jason. You turn it around backwards.
I'm now.
I already beat 3/4 of them. I'm just waiting on Terrell to finally step it up. He'll know nothing about these guns over here. And he don't want to know. That's why he don't want to know. That's why he keeps backing out.
Yeah, you gotta share that on the board, Dustin. Whenever after the show,
Tell him look at it. Look at the chat, Jason.
Yes.
If you want to see what we're talking about, check out fieldstreetforum.com later in the Classic City chat, and we'll have it posted after the show. And then listen to the replay, and you'll be cracking up like us.
Hey, I'll tell you this. If he finally steps up and shows up, I'll make it the header on the website.
Okay.
We got to make sure Terrell hears this, man.
Hey, he's gonna be how we get on the field practice passes because he's on the strength and conditioning staff.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. I'm glad we're all friends, so that dude don't kill me for talking like that.
Yeah, dude,
hey, on a recruiting note, I was posting to him. Paris Johnson didn't have any pictures with Kirby or nobody. His two pictures that he posted on Twitter was with Marie Taylor and Scott Sinclair.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as he don't be posting no pictures with Miss King, we're good.
That would have been terrible.
It's been
a horrible time.
Shake up, I guess.
Hey,
nobody
as
really
far
knows
as that goes, I don't think it's anything relationship related. I think it is recruiting related, but I think it's minor recruiting related.
Mm-hmm.
Is the rumor, in which I would call it I don't even know, gosh, a very soft rumor, because everything is on lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't pretend to know like a ton of people that, have access to Kirby Smart and his mom and his wife or anything like that, but, everybody has one or two guys that they talk to. Once you've been around this so long, you meet people and talk to people, everybody has like one or two guys. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Right.
People that usually talk to people are calling each other.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't nobody saying nothing.
I think kind of getting that echo chamber situation going on too sometimes.
Sometimes.
Where you kind of hear.
Sometimes I think it's college football and D1 football and D1 recruiting is like the damn mafia, man. Because these people don't, these people, they're scared. They're like, people are scared to talk. Like, they're going to get it. Like, sorry, I can't
First
say
rule
that.
of
I'll get it.
First rule of recruiting, don't talk about recruiting.
Man, seriously, it's like the dang Sopranos or something. I'm waiting for Tony Soprano to off somebody if they come talk about why the lady got fired. End up with a dang cinder block with your ankle tied to a cinder block at the bottom of those dang river.
putting you in
I mean, it's like some Tony. I mean, it's seriously like some Tony Soprano stuff. But people are scared
dropping
to
y'all in the
say
middle
anything.
of Lake Lanier.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. They're like, if I say something about why that girl was fired, Kirby's going to take me for a ride on his boat. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, it's seriously like that sometimes. I'm like, dear God.
Yeah. It's tight-lipped around there now. I don't think we're getting any more recruiting coordinators on the show.
It's like
on
Kirby
on G-Day or whatever.
It's like Kirby just sent out a memo and it was a gif of Tony Soprano doing the throat slash. If anybody asks you why Miss King was fired, Tony Soprano throat slash.
Well,
Zip it.
We know who isn't going to be the special guest.
Hey, real quick back to recruiting. Miles Murphy, what is that? I mean, a lot of people seem to think he's a lock at Clemson. Is that not necessarily the case, or what?
You know, I don't know. It seems like, I mean, I just really don't know a lot about him anyway, besides I know his mom went to freaking UGA. I mean, right now he's what, 6'5", I think, and like 260, 265. And he doesn't want to play, inside defensive lineman, 3-tech or anything like that. He wants to rush from the outside. So it seems like we want him more, if he wants to rush from the outside, we might want him more at like outside linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he would be more like a Jonathan Ledbetter type defensive end,
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would think he would be.
Yeah. Led's actually played stand-up sometimes too, though, so I wonder if they can kind of show him that and
I mean, I don't know.
show him he can use them.
The thing is, you can be like, oh, Georgia has a 3-4 defense and Clemson has a 4-3 defense and the 4-3 is better. But, I mean, look at the amount of time that people are in the nickel package. And you're playing with 4 defensive linemen anyway.
Right.
And I think I don't think it's as much of a which defense do you run as how much of an attacking defense do you use, whether it's nickel or 3-4 or dime or whatever. And, it always seems like, I mean, I'm just being honest, it always seems like we use the defensive lineman more to plug gaps and we let the linebackers do the work. I mean, that's just what it seems like we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you get somebody like Murphy that looks at it like that and, they see Clemson defensive linemen going maybe all 4 of them in the first round and we're using our defensive linemen to plug gaps, I mean, it's tough.
Mm-hmm. On the front page of Field Street Forum, kind of scrolling through, does Georgia have any chance with the kid out of Louisiana, Jacoby and Guillory? Or is he all LSU?
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being all LSU. But I'll tell you this. One dude I would look out for. Well, one dude I look out for is Jalen Carter. And there's another defensive lineman from Florida, Timothy Smith, 6'4", 340. That I would keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Let's see. What about is the kid? Let's see. It's like wide receiver got a couple of those. Receiver, tight end, Theo Johnson out of Ontario. Is he kind of in case we don't get Washington and Gilbert, or could he be enough to take one of their spots?
I don't see any way we take all three. That's going to be one where you just have to be careful with it. You got to judge. I mean, it's obvious Gilbert and Darnell Washington are, our top two targets, but you just got to be careful with it. And if Johnson wants to commit, you kind of got to see where Gilbert and Washington are, and if you want to let him go ahead and commit, then let him go ahead and commit. And, I mean, I hate to be this way and I hate to say this, but let them commit, and then if we get both Gilbert and Washington, then, kind of cut off recruiting them a little bit, and, he'll see the writing on the wall and go somewhere else. I mean, that's basically how they do it.
Kirby's never done that before.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't necessarily like it, but I don't like kids decommitting either. So, I mean, both sides are playing the game, so you just play the game. I mean, I certainly don't condone it, and I wouldn't do it all the time to a ton of kids, but it is what it is, and that's how recruiting goes. So that could be a deal like that.
You guys mentioned this kid earlier, but McLaughlin, again, another Texas kid. Is Georgia going heavier after Texas for any particular reason, or just kind of working out that way this offseason?
New DB coach.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
You got the new DB coach, but we were recruiting those guys before Warren too. It seems like when they did that Georgia versus Texas All-Star game, we started recruiting a lot of those Texas kids. And I mean, it could be because when they, when they came on campus, that just started it off. I don't know, but it seems like when they started those games, we started hitting a lot of those kids. Kind of like we're hitting the South Florida players for DBs. Now it looks like we're hitting the Texas kids. So, and we were trying to hit, we've been recruiting California and Florida for quarterbacks. So, I mean, he definitely doesn't care where he goes for a recruit. I think when we had Rick, it was more, whether you had taken 21 or 25, it was load up in state first, and then plug in the last 3-4 spots with the high end out of state guys, and to where now I think Kirby's definitely going more national with it. Because I mean, just look at last year. I mean, last year there wasn't that many kids from Georgia committed that were in the class. I think Kirby's basically handpicking his Georgia kids that he wants, and I mean he's turned it national big time.
Yeah. What about Trenton Simpson? Visited twice in a week out of Ballard Creek. I guess that's where Jordan Davis went, right?
Yeah, they're ex-teammates. That's a dude to where you just kind of got to be careful with it too, because I mean, you're looking at we could take 2 linebackers total, and you got Mikael Sherman, in-state guy Whitehead, Lynette Whitehead, and you got 5-star Justin Flo from California, and then you got Trenton Simpson. And it seems like the past month or so that he's been turned up on Trenton Simpson a lot. As much as where I would say I would predict him to come here if we keep recruiting him hard and we really go after him. So that's another one where we just have to be careful and kind of know when he's ready and know when the others are ready. And, I mean, it's going to where he is on the board, For all we know, I mean, which I don't think this is true, but for all anybody knows, the linebacker board could be Trenton Simpson and Lynette Whitehead above the higher-ranked guys, the 5-stars, Flo and Sherman. I don't think it's that way, but so it's really going to what the board is and where he is on it, and you just got to be careful. I mean, you got to know where Flo is and where Sherman is, and where they are in their recruitment, and don't let Trenton Simpson slip away if you don't think you're going to get guys higher than him.
Right.
Dude works 365 days a year, I swear.
What's 365?
I said Kirby works 365 days a year, I swear.
Oh, yeah. It's
So,
no doubt, dude.
Talking about going back to the national thing, last year, including DJ Daniel, who was originally from Georgia, then came to us from Georgia Military College, including him, it looks like we had 7 from Georgia. And that's counting Nolan Smith, too. Because I
was just about to say.
Out of 24, you had Nolan Smith is 1, Tresvant Marshall's 2, Warren McClendon 3, Rylan Godey 4, DJ Daniel 5. I'd probably count Stetson Bennett. You know, he's from Georgia. Went to JUCO and came back. So Trayvon Walker, Dominic Blaylock. And that's it.
So you said 7, so not even a third of your class is kids from Georgia?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's definitely turned it into a national brand, I'll tell you that.
Yep. What's next?
And Kirby works 366 days a year, son. Get it right.
He's 25-8, man. 25-8. So what do we need to keep an ear out for recruiting next?
God, who knows? I mean, official visitors really is the next thing, because I mean you're gonna have a bunch of names to Georgia, to UGA, and other places. So I mean, that's really what I keep an eye on. Then you're gonna have the new dead period, like at the end of July, I think. Ooh, I saw it the other day. I can't remember. I mean, you'll have visitors like that throughout the summer. You'll have 2020 and 2021 visitors. I'm sure they'll do that big scavenger hunt again.
You gonna organize it?
Shoot. Yeah, first thing's going to be go find the recruiting coordinator.
Jason said he likes having days off.
Well,
yeah. First thing on the scavenger hunts, go find Dacia King. She got some gear. She got some gear for you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I don't know if there'll be anything else, but
hey, for real though, if that's all it was, I mean, as far as like with the NCAA goes, I'm not saying whether I think she's been fired or she should have been fired or not, because I don't know the details. But if that rumor is true, that it was her just giving gear to kids and she was told not to and she kept doing it, then that'll probably be like a minor NCAA thing where it's turn yourself in and they're like, whichever kid you gave gear to, you can't call them for 30 days or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Couldn't be, anything bigger than that. Where these other guys get in trouble for doing stuff like that is when they do it, and then they lie to them, and it pisses them off, and they trump up the not the charges, I don't guess, but the punishment. Like that deal with Tech. What was that deal with Tech?
Yeah.
A few years back, whatever. Well, like a
they
box
just kind of amp up.
I mean, it was something small.
I mean, if you lie about it, a lot of times they just amp up their investigation into anything else they can too.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, that deal with Tech. I mean, it was like basically giving the one guy gear, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I mean, it was literally like T-shirts.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me, dude.
But they ended up lying about it, and they got like for what they did, they got like hammered. So I mean,
What about it?
Take care of it. Take care of it. Turn yourself in. We're sorry. Get your slap on the wrist.
Already resolved the issue by letting the girl go.
What about the director of player personnel for Florida getting a felony charge?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. What did he leave? 50-something voicemails or something like that too. And I don't know. I read the thing. It was something like that, and like telling her he's going to end her or all this kind of stuff. It was some crazy stuff. I think it got pretty rough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Anything else, fellas? Any other thing I missed on recruiting or G-Day for that matter?
Oh, here you go. Here you go. In 2011, Georgia Tech was put on probation for 4 years, stripped of its 2009 ACC football title, fined $100,000, and found to have failed to meet the conditions and obligations of NCAA membership. The punishment stemmed from impermissible benefits investigation into former Tech football star Demarius Thomas for receiving $312 worth of free clothing from a representative of a sports agency.
You said they got fined $100,000?
The dude got $312 in free clothing from a sports agency. And they got put on probation for 4 years, stripped of his 2019 ACC title, and fined $100,000.
For $300 worth of gear?
For $312 worth of clothing. And it's because they basically said they were combative and confrontational. And they came fighting them and lied about it, basically. And that's why they got all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're not going to get put on probation for 4 years for $312 worth of clothing.
Right. Because
we fired the girl and, they're going to, know in about 90 days from now what actually happened. But
what's the story on folks thinking that Clemson or Florida reported this stuff?
I have no clue. I honestly don't know.
Or is that something else?
Besides somebody just said it on a message board.
You're right.
I mean, that's about besides Daisha King, Kirby Smart, and Greg McGarity, ain't nobody else going to know anything for sure. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, the rest is just going to be rumor mill.
Right. Well, hopefully this is, been nipped in the bud now with, them moving on from her and the suspension of Luckmoney and get it all resolved anyway.
I mean, a decent guess would be that he was her superior and was supposed to be keeping a better watch over and he didn't, or somebody said he was supposed to be there and he wasn't there at all. So, I mean,
yeah,
you think it just had to do something to do with being a little bit irresponsible, and it turned into her getting fired, so he had to get in some kind of trouble too.
Right. Well, like I said, hopefully it's taken care of, and like you said, done before any sort of it's been presented up front and taken care of, so we don't have to worry about any serious ramifications from it.
Dude, just don't be like the nerds and go and lie to them about it and fight them about it. And you won't get put on probation for 4 years for $312 worth of T-shirts.
Well, that's the funny thing to me is the $100,000 fine. The $100,000 fine for $312 worth of gear.
I mean, honestly, you had to think if it's a sports agency and they bought clothes for him, you had to think it was a suit more than likely, right?
Yeah, I guess for draft.
I mean, I don't know, whatever. It was 8 years ago. I'm just saying, we're taking care of it from the get-go. We're going to turn ourselves in and say, hey, look at us. We screwed up. We gave them pullovers worth, we gave 8 kids pullovers worth $500. We told the girl not to do it. She still did it. We fired her. Tell us we can't talk to them for 30 days. I mean, basically.
Right.
And then unless we're just straight up getting busted, which I really don't think it is. It's just going to be something minor like that, probably like a low level 2 or level 3 violation, I would think. If that's all it is, like people are saying, then, I mean, it's nothing to worry about.
Right. Sounds good. How about a upbeat? Are we still doing the? We're not. I don't want to do the good things about Greg McGarry. I think that's kind of. I think you've run out of things, honestly. But
I ran out of things after the first week.
Something. Something. End on a positive note. How about that? Well, what's something good positive for Georgia fans to look forward to or to hear?
To look forward to or hear the video of me being Terrell and arm wrestling. That's what you can look forward to.
Night.
Shoot, I'm gonna put a pay-per-view on there. We're doing pay-per-view, baby.
Pay-per-view.
Exclusive on FieldStreetForum.com.
Exclusive on FieldStreetForum.com. SSF over the top.
Hey, we'll go live on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going live, baby. $5. $5
for all 5 seconds of this arm wrestling match.
No, it'll take me a little bit longer than that to put them down. I mean, I don't want to be too cocky.
Oh man. All right, we got to end on that note. That was a lot to look forward to. We've got the, all the incoming rest of the freshmen will be in, June 1st, I guess? June 1st?
Yeah, sometime around that time.
Yeah, June 1st, and then they'll be in for
the dang draft tomorrow. See who all gets drafted. See if Baker goes in the first round.
All right, real quick. What round does DeAndre Baker go?
First.
Third?
First.
Oh, first. I was about to say.
Numero uno.
I'll go second round. Where, let's see, who else? Galliard, do you think he gets drafted?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think here's my stretch prediction, I guess you could say. DeAndre Walker, second round.
Oh, wow. I like that. Does McCole get drafted?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got too much speed not to. Might be like third, fourth rounders, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Where do you see Holyfield going?
Ooh, Holyfield, dang, son.
6.
I still think he goes like fourth or fifth.
I said 6.
Yeah, I might go 6 or 7.
What about Nada?
I think he's going.
Oh, Nada. Gosh. I think he will.
All right, you got Walker
I think
going in a second. What'd you go ahead?
I think Nada go above Holyfield, to be honest.
Wow, really? Here's my stretch prediction. I think Holyfield gets a bulldog bump and goes in the fourth round, late fourth, maybe early fifth.
That's crazy. I don't know why they're leaving early for that.
I know. Well, hopefully
all I gotta say is Trenton Thompson
coming down the pipe. Yeah. Hopefully it's a matter of them seeing what's coming up behind them and didn't want to take the chance on dropping more. I don't know.
Oh, here you go. NFL.com draft profile, DeAndre Walker, 6'2", 251. Analysis by Lance. I don't even know how to say his last name. NFL analyst. Draft NFL comparison D4 draft projection round 2. My boy.
So you read that ahead of time?
No, I actually didn't.
All right, real quick, do the Falcons draft any Georgia players?
Yeah.
No.
Huh? No and a
yes.
Did you say those? Yeah.
I said yes.
What do you think? Anybody in particular you thinking or got in mind?
I'll go with Galliard.
Galliard? That makes sense because Mac's getting on up there.
He's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, those
All right, boys.
same profiles said Holyfield 6 to 7, Nada 5 to 6. And then, let's see, DeAndre Walker second.
What about Nate Trez?
You know where we're going to be. It's a draft party tomorrow, baby.
Trez getting drafted in the round 420.
Is there going to be a poll on your bus?
Absolutely. Gee, we better be changing some laws around here. Let's see.
Oh, what about Ledbetter?
Same analysis has Galliard 4 to 5. I'll put this on the after we get off. I'll put these on the chat page. I'll add the NFL draft analysis and where they say it.
All right.
Ledbetter is, let's see, and I'll make this the last one, and I'll just put them all on the chat page. Let's see. Ledbetter 6 to 7.
You think that? I mean, those were a lot of those were top 50 players whenever they were going through recruiting. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting to see where they end up like that. That's what makes it fun.
Mhm. All right, boys. Does that wrap it up for another fantastic episode?
Yep.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jason, Dustin.
It would have been more
Everybody.
fantastic, but Terrell's still ducking me. Figured he would have came on and answered by now. Chicken. Ain't nothing but a
All
chicken with arms.
All right. Check out fieldstreetforum.com, fieldstforum.com. Hit the front page for all the latest recruiting and Georgia info and news. Also, hit the Classic City chat with the current date, and that'll have all the the latest discussions, topics going on. Like Jason said, he's going to post the the NFL draft prospects up there as well. You can check that out. Check out Field Street Forum on Facebook and Twitter, Field ST Forum on Facebook and Twitter. Check out Playbook Athlete because they give us the platform here on the Playbook Athlete Podcast Network. They do a lot of great things for a lot of kids, man. So, like I said, just check them out. A lot of good dudes over there. Check out DWoody15. Give me a follow at The Real Dre. And I guess that wraps it up for this evening. Until next time, go Dogs.